Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back to North Central Weather Center. This is Hunter here, and we do have a significant storm system that is looming for late this weekend and early next week, followed by more winter-like temperatures. We'll be diving into the details in today's weather forecast. Before we get there, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also press the thumbs up button down below. That's the like button. It truly does help out more than you know. So let's get into today's weather forecast. That is the first full day of spring on March 20th, and you can see our temperatures this morning are definitely more on the wintry side, with temperatures to the north into the single digits in northeastern portions there of North Dakota and northern Minnesota, and really not that much different further south, just a little bit warmer, but still sub-freezing across most of our viewing area this morning. And when you factor in those brisk northwest winds gusting over 20, perhaps 25 miles per hour, we are seeing those wind chill values ranging from minus 10 to the north to around 40 degrees to our southern areas. So definitely bundle up if you are headed out the door for work, school, or running any type of errands outside this Wednesday morning. As we go into the afternoon, we are seeing some warmer conditions, relatively speaking. Further to the north, temperatures will be still into the 20s and 30s. Further to the south here toward the Central Plains, the lower Midwest or Ohio Valley, temperatures there will be more into the 40s, 50s, even some 60s across our far south this afternoon. Let's look at the precipitation throughout the day. Very quiet this morning, not any precipitation worth noting. And even as we go into the afternoon, outside of a flurry there into western portions of North Dakota, we're really not seeing anything meaningful. And even still this evening, a couple flurries possible there into North Dakota. But other than that, we're really not seeing any meaningful precipitation to add up out there. So definitely a very quiet Wednesday across the north central U.S. Now let's go into late work week here. Thursday, March 21st through Friday, March 22nd. And notice our temperatures. We start to warm up a little bit here across Nebraska, into Kansas and the Ozarks region there in Missouri, but still cooler up to the north. Temperatures hanging around those middle and upper 20s to low 30s out there on Thursday. The warmer air will start to move east, and then you can see the cooler air moving into Nebraska and Kansas on Friday. So we're into the 60s on Thursday there. We're going to be down into the 40s and 50s in Nebraska, Kansas as we go into Friday to end the work week. Now let's look at our precipitation during that period. A weak Alberta Clipper system, yes, originating up there in Alberta, Canada, will be dropping southeastbound during the day on Thursday, bringing some snowfall, lighter snow at that, across western portions of Dakotas. Maybe some lighter sprinkles, some drizzle down here into Kansas and western Missouri on Thursday. Really not that big of a deal. We're keeping an eye on a fast-moving Alberta Clipper that will move down through the Dakotas into Minnesota. Yes, the Twin Cities could have a brief period of moderate snow Thursday evening and Thursday night. That could also be down there into northeastern Iowa, Wisconsin, and far northern Illinois. And then we'll see that traverse across Wisconsin, far northern Illinois. This could include Rockford over there toward Milwaukee and Chicago, and then areas to the east there, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Michigan, as we go into Friday. And finally, Friday night, that fast-moving system is further east of our viewing area. Let's look at the total snowfall accumulations from this. So Thursday the 21st through Friday night on the 22nd of March, a very narrow swath of 1 to as much as 3 inches of accumulating snow. And when I say accumulating, probably more on grassy surfaces than anything else. But our temperatures this morning are pretty cool leading up to this event. So I wouldn't rule out even some slushy accumulations on those pavement surfaces across portions of the Dakotas, Minnesota, northern Iowa through Wisconsin, far northern Illinois there, and then over here into the UP of Michigan and lower Michigan as well through that Friday night time frame. Now let's look at our more significant storm system here. This is really the highlight of this video. Thursday, March 23rd through early next week on Tuesday, March 26th, and a very dynamic system setting up shop off to the west coast this weekend. So we're kind of in that waiting period as that trough moves in across California this weekend, but that kicks off across our viewing area as we go into early next week, namely on Monday and on Tuesday. Very dynamic and energized jet stream here, and this time of year that could mean anything from snow to rain to severe weather. So we'll dive into that forecast here in a moment, but let's look at those temperatures as this system comes in. So as we go into Saturday Saturday, colder to the north, milder and slightly warmer to the south. And then as we go into Sunday, you can see where the warm sector of that system will set up, mainly Nebraska, Kansas on south out of our viewing area, Missouri, southern Illinois getting milder. We'll have to watch those areas for some severe weather. But to the north, where it's cold enough, this will probably be all wintry precipitation as we go into Sunday. Monday as well, a pretty dynamic system here. You got the warm sector in our eastern viewing area, cold sector in the western viewing area, so a very dynamic looking severe weather setup, followed by a snowfall setup on the backside on Monday. And then all of us get in on the colder air as we go into Tuesday as a full-blown winter-like day as we go into early next week. Let's look at the precipitation trends with this system. So as we go into Saturday, the first piece of energy with this system may move across the Dakotas. Really not seeing any impactful snow very much from this, just some blustery conditions. Maybe a few snow flurries and snow showers Saturday, mainly later in the day. Then as we go into Sunday, this will start filling in more moderate to heavier pockets of snow. Would not be surprised at all with such a dynamic system if we start seeing more of those half-inch to maybe up to an inch per hour snow rates across portions of the Dakotas into Minnesota there, northern portions of Iowa, as the warm sector of the storm will be down into Nebraska, southwestern Iowa, probably Omaha staying in the warm sector, and then down toward Kansas City. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We could have some severe weather with such a dynamic system into Sunday evening. Then as we go into Monday, this system's really starting to mature now. 990 millibar low. You got the cold front here producing potentially at least some heavier thunderstorms, if not some severe weather from Iowa down through Missouri there into Kansas, and then outside our area toward the lower Mississippi Valley. But look at the tight isobars on the backside here. We could be talking about a decent snowstorm setup for portions of the Dakotas, Minnesota perhaps wrapping around the backside with that cold air advection through portions of Nebraska, western Kansas on Monday, and then that system will start to peel away as we go into Tuesday, but still watching that severe weather setup across our eastern areas. A lot of that snow and that snow line will be pushing north of our area, mainly into Canada during this time. Looking here at our total precipitation in inches, Saturday, March 23rd through Tuesday, March 26th, a lot of this to the north will be wintry precipitation, so disregard this for any rainfall or liquid precipitation. Probably not going to happen with that colder temperatures out there, but look at to the south. This is going to be some decent rains in areas that need it beneficially here. We have a drought, significant drought still across Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. So a lot of these areas will get some beneficial rains later this weekend and into early next week on the order of a half inch to perhaps up to 2 inches in some localized areas. So definitely some beneficial rains there. But look at the snow setup here. Yes, it's late March, and yes, we can still get these snowstorms. Here's the European ensemble guidance showing the placement here of this across the Dakotas, Minnesota into northern Wisconsin, the far southern flank of the heavier snow potentially into northern Iowa, and northern portions of Nebraska. Now, don't look exactly specifically at these amounts and take them and run with them, but just know that a heavier snowstorm is possible across our northern areas, and you can see a lot of agreement here with the GFS, the American ensemble guidance, in the placement of the system. The Dakotas getting through Minnesota there into Wisconsin, northern Iowa, and northern portions of Nebraska. Again, disregard these amounts for now. These will change over the next few days, but we'll just keep an eye on that placement of this as we do get closer. Now, beyond the storm system, the middle and late portion of next week into the following weekend as we wrap up March, Wednesday, March 27th through Sunday, March 31st, well, we're going to have a lot of cold air on the backside. So we have that snow setting up, and if we have a decent snowstorm across the north, that's going to be our most likely area to have the much below average temperatures with that snowpack on the ground. So those areas could see 10 to 15, who knows, even 20 degrees below normal as we get into that time frame. Areas that are snow-free, so for the Midwest for the most part, the lower Midwest we're talking about here, the Central Plains, the Great Lakes, and especially down in the Ohio Valley, just a handful of degrees below normal here as we have northwest winds blowing off that snowpack, going to keep us colder here. So even though you don't have snow on the ground, say in Missouri or Illinois, you get a northwest wind over that snowpack. That's definitely going to cool us down in towards the late March period, but it's still going to remain very active. So even though we have colder air, Yeah, we could start to see even more snow chances before March is done with. So winter is coming back with a vengeance. We'll keep fine tuning this forecast as we do get closer, but just know the three things here. It's going to feel like winter with those temperatures out there and the wind chills. A significant storm late this weekend and into early next week, providing us with heavy snow, heavy rain, and potential severe weather. And number three, another active period to wrap up March again with potentially another snow system as we have below normal temperatures and likely some active weather towards that time frame. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel because we will keep you updated Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the weekend if needed as the storm system gets closer and throughout this year. Make sure to press the like button down below. It's the thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know. Thank you guys so much for watching North Central Weather Center. My name is Hunter, and I'll see you all again on Friday.